So let's get the program started. My name is Ben Stone, Director of the Economic Development Board. There are nearly 600 people here today. We've never had so many people. Sorry, it's a little crowded. Thank you for accommodating some of the seating adjustments we've had to make. Today we'll hear from the Sonoma County Community Foundation's Beth Brown, then from the new board chair, David Rabbit, and finally from the UCLA Anderson Forecast, Director and Senior Economist, Jerry Nicholsburg. I'd like to take a moment now to thank our presenting sponsors that have helped support our economic development initiatives and events like these. You can see them on the placards on your tables. Thank you to our foundation and presenting sponsors, Luther Burbank Savings, the City of Santa Rosa, Exchange Bank, Kaiser Permanente, PG&E, Pure Luxury, Redwood Credit Union, Sonoma Raceway, and Tri-Counties Bank. And our premier sponsors, Bank of Marin, the Employment Training Panel, ETP, Friedman Goldberg, Sonoma County Tourism, Sonoma County Clean Power, and St. Joseph's. Please join me in a warm round of applause for our sponsors. I'd also like to extend a very warm welcome to the many city, state, and federal officials and their staff members with us today. Please stand or wave as I call your name so that we can acknowledge and thank you for your dedication to public service. And for the audience, please hold your applause until we get through the entire list. So let's start with our Board of Supervisors. From the 1st District, Susan Gorin. And from the 2nd District, David Rabbit. 3rd District, Shirley Zane. Thank you for waving, Shirley, as standing. Good. 4th District, Jenny Chamberlain is here for Supervisor Gore. And from the 5th District, Amy Windsor is here for Supervisor Hopkins, who's newly with child. On the federal level, we have representing Congressman Thompson, Stephen Gale, and we have our congressman here, I understand, Jared Huffman. At least there he is. Thank you, Jared. Thanks very much. On the state level, we have representing Bill Dodd, Logan Pitts, and representing Assembly Member Jim Wood, Will Tesconi. From the cities, we have for the town of Windsor, the Bruce Okrepke. For the council member from the Sonoma is Logan Harvey. For the mayor of the city of Santa Rosa, Tom Schwedhelm. Also council members Julie Combs and Ernesto Oliveras. From the mayor of Rohnert Park is here, Gina Belforte. The vice mayor of Rohnert Park is here, Joe Callanan, along with council members Jake McKenzie, Pam Stafford, and Susan Hollingsworth Adams. We have the mayor of Petaluma here, Teresa Barrett, and the mayor of Healdsburg, David Higley, along with council members Evelyn Mitchell and Joe Now Jokas. From Cloverdale, we have council member Melanie Bagby, as well as council member Marla Cruz. From Sebastopol, we have Nasa Hinton, the mayor. The county clerk recorder is here, Dava Proto, along with the superintendent of schools, Steve Harrington. The trustees of the school Office of Schools is Herman Hernandez and Gina Kuklas. And while she's not an elected official, we're very pleased to welcome the president of Sonoma State University, Judy Sakaki, as well. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Continuing in the spirit of recognizing others, I'd like to give you some quick highlights from our local educational institutions and our 9 cities to recognize some of the amazing work they've accomplished over the last year. Thank you to their staff for writing the summaries here and the photos. Sonoma State University graduated its largest class ever, approximately 2,700 students, and also launched a new strategic plan focused on serving our region and becoming a national model for student excellence. SSU is also building in a new university district in Rohnert Park a total of 1,500 new housing units. Well, that's the way to go. Sonoma State is also holding a North Bay Economic Outlook and Housing Summit on February 19th. In May 2018, Santa Rosa Junior College awarded 2,400 associate's degrees to about 1,800 graduates, making the graduating class of 18 the largest in the college's 100-year history. About 2,700 certificates were also awarded during that time, providing students with the skills they need to fill critical positions here. Empire College, with the input of employers who partner with Empire College and on advisory boards, Empire recently launched 19 redesigned programs addressing the training needs of the local workforce in this period of historically low unemployment. Programs range from short-term certificates to help workers get certifications including one in cutting-edge Department of Defense certifications to help companies defend and protect against cybersecurity threats. So that's a whole new career path opening up around cybersecurity. To address the ongoing teacher shortage, the Sonoma County Office of Education this year opened and dedicated a new state-of-the-art teacher learning program. This building houses a teacher intern program as well as numerous teacher and administrator programs. In addition, SCO is pursuing a project to collaborate with the housing agency to build below-market housing on land owned by SCO for teachers in southeast Santa Rosa. Way to go, SCO. That's great. In addition to our educational institutions, we're excited to provide some highlights of the 9 cities over the past year. I'll also be reporting on the number of houses each city is permitted or authorized, so you'll begin to see what's going on around the county in terms of cities building houses. The city of Cloverdale partnered with the Cloverdale Chamber of Commerce on a marketing campaign, Experience Cloverdale. It's the nucleus of a self-titled Instagram page and website that is also featured on sites such as TripAdvisor as a tourist tool. The marketing concept includes fun taglines, such as Experience Cloverdale, where you can dance under the stars on Friday Night Live. And if you stop here, you'll want to stay. So in terms of housing numbers, they have 6 new 1-bedroom apartments and 5 accessory dwelling units or ADUs. Cotati, after a joint public meeting in 2018, a proposed hotel project will be going through formal public review and construction in 2019. Also, the city and Farmster, in partnership, are establishing a long-term operation as a demonstration ranch for the public. The Cotati numbers for housing are 29 single-family residential units, 8 new ADUs, and 121 new units by the Cotati train station. The city of Healdsburg is employing a more thoughtful community development approach to help provide affordable housing. The hotel trio owners and the city worked together to build a 37-unit apartment complex solely funded by the hotel owner for middle-income households. The city hopes this approach can be replicated to build projects that reflect a good balance of residential and community development. So Healdsburg's numbers for housing, 52 new units, and 12 of them are accessory dwelling units. Petaluma, the new digester Petaluma wastewater treatment plant is the first phase of a project to support food and beverage manufacturers by allowing the plant to accept organic waste and turn it into fuel and reduce greenhouse gases by 3,000 tons of CO2 per year. Petaluma's housing numbers, 100 new building permits issued and 339 units entitled. Rohnert Park, they're working on building a new downtown, and Rohnert Park is going to have a really cool downtown. The photo is the developer's rendering of the future downtown Rohnert Park, Station Avenue. For housing in 2018, Rohnert Park approved or permitted over 1,200 homes and apartments. Santa Rosa, the state of Santa Rosa is housing, housing, housing. By the end of 2018, Santa Rosa reached the halfway point on the 2-year rebuild goal, with just over 50% of the homes lost both rebuilt and occupied, under construction, or pending construction permits. In addition, Santa Rosa is looking toward the future with the Up Downtown initiative. This award-winning program incentivizes housing growth and downtown development through changes made to processes and fees. In terms of housing numbers, Santa Rosa has built and bidded 2,400 new units in Santa Rosa. As I look at Santa Rosa, 2,400, 1,200 in Rohnert Park, just on this page, we're seeing a lot of housing come to the fore. Sebastopol has installed bicycle lanes and pedestrian crosswalk improvements. I just read what they give us here, so this picture is the new and improved pedestrian crossing on Bodega Bay at Bay Avenue. The city also continues to expand its image as a sustainable city. This year, the city adopted a zero waste policy, sponsored free in-town bus rides on the county's first all-electric bus, and businesses continue to focus on locally grown and made foods and products, farm-to-table dining, experiential retail, and local arts and craftspeople. Sonoma embraces art. Partnering with the Sonoma Valley Museum of Art, the city continued its successful temporary public art program in the plaza this summer, and in October it installed Laura Kempton's Love sculpture as part of an exhibition commemorating the 2017 wildfires. The city also supported the pilot launch of Sonoma Art Walk, an evening where businesses partner with local creative artists, held on the first Thursday of every month. And in Sonoma, they built 180 multifamily and single-family units this year. Windsor is excited to highlight the new opening of the Russian River Brewing Company. How many of you have been up to take a tour there? Anybody been up there? Wow. We should be holding this up there. Yes, so they've become a real draw for beer enthusiasts from around the world. Last year, their two-week event, Pliny the Younger, generated $3.5 million in new economic activity in Sonoma County. The Windsor location has 85,000 square feet of warehouse, production, offices, and hospitality, as well as adding over 100 new employees. How's that for economic development? Isn't that great? Really, Windsor. In Windsor's housing numbers, they've got a total of 93 new ones and also have permitted another 20. For the unincorporated county, the housing permitted numbers for both rebuild and non-rebuild is about 1,100. So lots of great things going on around the county, and I think a surprising number of housing units are being built, entitled, permitted. So lots of good news here. I'd like to give you a little update what the EDB's been up to this year. We've been busy implementing Strategic Sonoma, the county's new 5-year economic development plan, which was approved by the Board of Supervisors in July. The plan would not have been possible without the support of its 30-member stakeholder group, as well as some 200 individuals that participated in focus groups. Critical to the success of the project was the leadership of Pam Channer and Brett Martinez that kept the project on track, kept it with a results orientation, and we're very pleased to see the actions that are coming already. Most of the initial Strategic Sonoma work focused on 3 priority areas: housing, workforce, and getting a manufacturing alliance going so we can keep our manufacturers here. For housing, we invited the Santa Rosa Chamber to launch an employers housing council. Chamber Director Peter Rumble reports that Housing Council has met several times and 15 of the county's major employers are participating on that council. The council is also focused on encouraging housing development across the market spectrum in coordination with local governments, so much housing growth is countywide. Similar to other communities in California, the council is also considering establishing a housing trust to help provide additional financing for housing here. For workforce, in November, the EDB and the Workforce Board hosted a meeting with 3 local post-secondary institutions, Sonoma State, the JC, and Empire, and 8 employers representing a cross-section of industries. This meeting represents the first time that these 2 groups, employers and educators, have gotten together to talk strategically about intentionally strengthening our local talent pipeline and to keep local students working with local employers when they graduate from college. The group will continue to meet, pursue new initiatives, and help plan the future of work spring economic forecast, which will be held here on April 26th. Finally, Supervisor David Rabbitt and the EDB hosted a roundtable discussion with a number of local manufacturing executives to discuss their interest in establishing a manufacturing and tech alliance. To address the critical needs of this industry, the group agreed that it would be beneficial to continue to meet and plan new programs. Additionally, we've been pursuing a number of other projects, including working with the junior college to pursue a $10 million grant funding for a construction training center. We're very optimistic we'll get funded once the government shutdown is smoothed out. And this center would generate 750 construction workers a year. So over 5 years, we'd really have the construction workforce we need. How's that sound to you, Keith? Yeah. And on the light side, we're gearing up to launch the 10th annual Sonoma County Restaurant Week. This year, we're working with throwing bakeries in the mix with pastries called the Pastry Perks program. Typically, we have 150 restaurants from around the county participate. This is their off season, so this is a way to help generate some income for restaurants. So there's a lot of work being done around the community, and you will have the opportunity to hear from our speakers about these efforts. First up will be Elizabeth Brown, President of and CEO of the Community Foundation, who is working on building community resilience, both through the Foundation's philanthropy and through a new project, Map One Sonoma. I've got a question for you. How many businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions, and government agencies do we have in Sonoma County? I'll give you a hint, lots. And so wouldn't it be great if we could know who does what and where the intersections are amongst all those activities? Well, this new One Sonoma project does just that. It maps the various organizations, efforts, and systems that make Sonoma County tick. By understanding how they are interconnected, we can better identify where we can nudge the system to affect positive change towards creating a healthy, vibrant, and sustainable Sonoma County. Beth brings 25 years of experience in philanthropy in her role as president and CEO of the Community Foundation Sonoma County. Beth previously worked in leadership roles at the Marin Community Foundation and the Council on Foundations in Washington. And she's a recent winner, as she Brad is here, she's a recent winner of the North Bay Business Journal's Nonprofit Leadership Award. So please join me in welcoming Beth Brown. Beth?
Thank you. Thank you very much.